let's move right on to this. So I know y'all remember yesterday this whole situation with Raymonte and Cardi B. So they was on Twitter, and I believe that this is the video that got this started. I don't know if he posted this like the day before, and Cardi B ended up responding to it. But anyway, let's check this out before I give my commentary on it. Hold on.
As a black person, you guys say that I'm ghetto, but Cardi B, who doesn't look like a visible black woman to me, and this is no shade to you, Cardi B. This is no.
And she's racially ambiguous, and even before she got her face done and everything, even with the, and listen, I say this, and I'm not trying to be funny. Shout out to the black women on this platform who opened up my mind and let me be like, oh, this is really true. Because I can't remember if I think it might have been a Cynthia G, where she said something like, and this wasn't pertaining to Cardi B, but it made me think about it, right? She was saying like, when certain people date certain white women, it's because those women are the last picking of their community, right? They're the lowest picking, so it's like they're gonna deal with a black guy because the ones who is really up in their community, they don't want them, right? Now, I will admit, and just to give some credit, I do think Cardi B looks a lot more better now since she's done whatever surgery she's done to her face and eye pulling, nose pulling, whatever, right? I feel like she does look better. But the thing about it is you had to make yourself into being this person who you are. And then, certain instances you look one way, certain instances you look another way. And you want to know how I could tell? And I know y'all might say like, yo, you're crazy. Why would you say that? You want to know how I could tell that Cardi B, even with the way that she apparently wants to appear beautiful, I can tell that she still struggles because when Ice Spice took that picture with her, Ice Spice switched her mood up. Cardi stayed the same way, like, oh, I don't want to move. And I know you might think your brain operates crazy. Why didn't you switch your face up? Like when Ice Spice she did like two, and we're gonna talk about that. But I still find Cardi to just be a little insecure, just based off of all of the little rants that she did online, talking about, remember that one she did where she was like, this is me waking up. It's like you try to prove too much that you're pretty. It's either you're pretty or you're not. And then with Nicki, just saying one thing like, what she say? But you are still, wait, after all of that surgery, you are still ugly. All them botch face photos. Why? It's like, I believe that Nicki, she be on her Foxy Brown shit. Like when Foxy was on that 7:30 that Nicki did Curious George over, and she was like, I might not hurt you, but I could get to you dead inside. Nicki is going to do that because if you're bad and you knew that you grew up being bad, if somebody calls you ugly, you know that you're not, and you're not going to have to defend it all the time. Talk about my face and this, and people trying to play with me, and people do this. Listen, you are what you are, like, and I just feel like Cardi is always running away from these things, like when it comes to her appearance and stuff like that. It's really clear to see if you really are a person who's eyes open. Like you can really it's really clear to see. But anyway, let's continue this audio.
Shay, this is just literally a fact. We're speaking on colorism and all those type of things. She is very, very ghetto. She's way ghettoer than me. She's way.
And it's forced, like, ooh, child, cool down. Too hot, too wild. I'm like, ooh, child, cool. Who you doing that to signal to black women?
Her gangster greasy with me. She was outside with the damn Bloods. And y'all don't say that.
She was with the Bloods for affiliation and protection. Star Brim going away for a year. Who she's going to clinch on to now? Who's she going to clinch on to now since Star Brim is going away for a year?
This lady is ghetto. Y'all don't say that.
But the way Star Brim is such a booster, she'll probably set her up with a puller upper.
She is marketable. It feels like everyone can be ghetto and black besides ghetto and black people. And again, no shade to you, Cardi B. I'm just doing a comparison. As a black person, you guys say that I'm ghetto, but Cardi B, who doesn't look like a visible black woman to me, and this is no shade to you, Cardi B. This is no shade. This is just literally a fact. And we're speaking on colorism and all those type of things.
But she want to be a black woman like, ooh, child, cool down, too hot, too wild. Like, ooh, down, ooh, child, cool down, too hot. Like, ooh, child, cool down, too hot, too wild. People don't see it. I process data differently in my mind. What are you talking about? I ain't never met none of like no people who I know who are Latina. They don't talk like that. They have their own way that they talk. Like, ooh, child, cool down. Shut up. So we heard this or whatever, right?
She is.
I agree. I agree fully. I agree. Cardi B gets away with murder. She's able to do certain things that black women would never get away with. She gets a certain grace. Oh, that's why because I was thinking as I was talking, like, why did I say that, right? My point of the matter was is even though Cardi was not the top of the pickings and she's made herself into this quote unquote decent looking bad bitch or beautiful person, even when she was at the lowest of her looks, she still could get away with murder. She still could get away with certain things, and it is colorism, and she knows that. She knows it, and she rides on it. Like just the comments that she's made to people in the past, a person of our community would not make comments towards a person like that. They wouldn't. They would not. So yeah. So let's move on and see what else ensued after this. So Cardi said, hold on, let me push this over. So Cardi said, it's crazy because when I became famous, people said that I'm ghetto, talk shit about my accent, call me dumb because the way I speak, say I got no couth. Who said no? Who brought up the word couth? She be on it hard. She be on it. Said I got no couth. Talk about my teeth, talk about my braids, talk about my two buns. And to this day, no matter what I accomplish, still gets called a stripper. All this because I'm from the ghetto. People misinterpret me because apparently I'm loud and ghetto to this day. Call me a hood rat and all. When I sat down with Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, they called me ghetto stripper. Why is it that y'all gotta use me to make y'all comparisons? Because y'all don't see the glory, but y'all only see the glory. But when I get dragged 24/7, leave me the F alone and out of bullshit. I'm tired of people using me as their punching bag. Leave me the F alone. It's my off day. But if this was Nicki, she would have been telling her, go bring your husband to a park, go do this, go do that, whatever the case may be. Cardi picks and chooses. She picks and chooses. Let's move on. So Raymonte said, girl, why you getting so mad at the comparison? I'm saying you are successful and reach heights that visibly black people, ghetto people have a harder time reaching, which is a fact. Which is a fact. The fact that, wait, the fact just like you, I'm not saying you don't deserve success or how you act is bad. I'm just saying if someone was my color or darker acts the same way, we will never receive the same awards and accolades that you or love. You're being very dense, which she is. Sukiyana, Sexy Red, the City Girls, the licks go on. Yep, you had major campaigns that ghetto black woman and men like me will never get. It's deeper than conversation. I'm not trying to offend you at all. To not think that you have it easier to be seen as marketable because your lighter is weight. He said, I'm not trying to offend you at all. To not think that you have it easier to be seen as marketable because your lighter is crazy. Yep, I do agree. Now, I do agree, and I think that it's a part of me, like when Joe Budden was saying all of those things about Sexy Red and Drake supporting her and stuff like that. I do think that Nicki and Drake both treat Sexy Red like they little ghetto sister, and they know that she probably doesn't get looks like that, and I think that's why they boost her up because she does deserve it. She does have a family to feed, and she does have things to do. So I'm happy that Sexy Red has a Drake collaboration. And a two Nicki collaborations. She deserves it. And people will look at a Sexy Red and don't think that she deserves it. She still deserves it. It doesn't matter. People will look at a Cardi B and Cardi's talking about, oh, she got into fashion and she did all of this, but she low key, her undertone doesn't want a black girl like JT in it. JT started to become a threat when she started to do all this fashion stuff, and she don't want her in that space. That's the real talk of it all. That's why I told you like the other day when I went live and I said that I personally felt like Joe Budden only made them comments about Sexy Red because he typically dates Latina women. He doesn't really see it for her. He wants to figure out, why is Drake around a girl like that? Is that really your type? I know. Is he really attracted to her? Does he really want to be with a girl like that? That's the real talk of it all. He don't think that she deserves it. I don't like when people dance around a punch like prom night. Let's just say what you really going to say. Like, offend if you're going to offend, and just say it. You don't think Sexy Red deserves it. But I love the love. I appreciate and I like the love that both Drake and Nicki show Sexy Red. Yeah, she deserves it. She deserves a boost because it's going to be 10 times harder than her. Even if her rhymes are basic, I believe that she's writing them. And Cardi, while she gets all of the power from the ball sack of a man, and she want to make it seem like she's this competitive black girl, witty female rapper, which her rhymes are still below average to me. Um, just to compete, just to hold a handbag, just to be in the same sentence with other people. You will never have it as hard as a black girl. And this is what I said before in my commentary when I said these little black girls, if they come up and they are inspired by Cardi, they're gonna watch her and be like, damn, she came up, she dropped the song, she went up, boom, 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 she made it a certain type of way. And when they get in, they're gonna realize it's not gonna be that easy. They're not gonna get the radio play like that and get the push like that because she was a part of a calculated effort, in my opinion. They're not gonna get this, she's not gonna get the same love. They're not going to get the same love that she got, and she don't deserve it more than them. So that's why I said it'd be kind of like weird to me, like not weird, but it's kind of like when I'm talking about Megan, I want Megan to do good. Real talk. Even though I know her and Nicki fell out, she's out here and she's trying to get it, and I know that she has some sort of a talent. I feel like she deserves a push like they gave Cardi. But I still do think Megan is fake though. But I don't wish the worst for her or anything like that. But I don't believe that she sold out these venues. I don't. And I do think that they're on resale sites. And we'll see. I'm gonna look at that another day, you know. But anyway, back to this situation. So Cardi said, that's not what you said. You said nobody called me ghetto, and now you trying to move the goalpost. And people say that to make it try to seem like they on point with the conversation. Shut up. So you know why I'm at where I'm at right now? Because I took all those no's and recognized that I had to change. I had to change the way I talk. You still talk the same way. The way I act and the way I respond, how I present myself. You ignoring all that and playing the color because you know you don't like me, and that's messed up. Let me tell you something. Why you care about this boy liking you? He's another influencer online. He's just another person in the world who don't like you. Why you ain't curse him out? You curse everybody else out. Why you ain't curse him out and call him? What did she call him? Glitter bottom or something like that. Why you care so much about him and you threw shoes at a woman at Fashion Week? Was that Fashion Week or was it Harper's Bazaar fashion show? Yeah. You don't feel any remorse for that? Cardi, I know Starbrim is going away and you're going to have some time to think on your own without your gangster friend being around. You need to apologize to Nicki. And even if you do it and then you lie to Starbrim and say, oh, she came to me and that's why we spoke, you need to apologize. Whatever lie you got to make up, just like you made that lie up and said that nothing happened that night at the Harper's Bazaar. You know, do whatever you got to do to make yourself sleep better at night. But I do think you need to apologize to Nicki. Why are you giving this boy all of this grace talking about, I wish I would at a grown age, even at the age of 30, 31. You ignore all of that and playing the color card because you don't like me, and that's messed up. I don't give a fuck who don't like me. And that's not really how you give it up. You being fake. You are so fake. You have more grace for black men, but you know that's typical coming from a woman like you. You have more grace for black men than black women. How you telling him he don't like you and that's messed up? You Cardi B. Who cares who don't like you? You trying to play the emotional and you care in this type of messaging. You think you nickel slick, but I got your penny change. So you don't like me and that's effed up. You using all these other women. Sexy Red is making bangers and on tour with Drake, but you unfollowed her today. And I bet she's gonna win Female Rapper of the Year because why are you worried about what she's gonna win? Keep your eyes on your own paper. You are ready at the BET Awards. Don't worry about it. Why you say that and then okay. She's grinding and working hard and not letting people call her ghetto distract her because it's authentic. You know, I do think that Cardi acts a certain way and she keeps certain people around her for a look. Like, and I know that people be trying to I know some people may think like, oh, you just be talking shit or whatever the case may be. No, I'm not. Like, the point that I want to make is that I think deep about shit that I say. If Cardi was the New York City baddie that she's trying to present herself to be, like the way that she looks now and she has her makeup done and if she grew up looking like that, I promise you, God strike me down. she would have mad baddie Dominican friends that look just like her. Not saying Star Brim is ugly, but she wouldn't have no Star Brims. She would have, and listen, black girls are bad though too, right? I'm not saying that like Star Brim, she's okay or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that with the love that I can look in Cardi B and when she's around her natural surroundings and her family, she loves her culture. But the thing is, she was bottom of the pickings, like when it comes to me, based on her looks back then, right? So she, I don't know why, but like she connected with, I don't know. You know what? That whole strip club thing. I don't know her whole life, but maybe she connected with Star Brim on that strip club tip for protection or whatever. But what I want to say is that you never see her at the. She's always at the club with. She's always at the club with Star Brim. When you see Ice Spice, I see certain regular like Latina women that be with her in certain videos. I'll be like, oh, I've seen her before or whatever, right? I seen her because you look at Ice Spice, she's a cute girl. So Cardi, she don't got the plethora of baddie Dominican friends and who had the blowouts and was mad cute and whatever the case may be. I feel like Cardi got in where she could fit in, and our community will accept anything. We accept anybody in. We I thought about like all of those happenings that happen like in churches, people running up in churches and doing us dirty, just people doing us dirty in all types of situations. And I understood this at a young age. I never remember, I never forget being in elementary school. And I always said that our kind of people, that we were less racist than other races. Like you think about it, if it's all black people in the room and then somebody Hispanic or somebody white comes in, we want them to feel one. It's always somebody that's trying to love on them. Oh, you are right. You ate, you did this, you did whatever. We always want people to feel one. We don't always get that all the time, though. We always show love. We always do. But people don't show love back to us, though. They want to use our culture. They want to use our community and the dwellings of it to look hood and say, "Ooh, child, cool down, too hot, too wild," because they want to signal the plane for the black people. So they be like, "Oh, she using the lingo. She doing." I see, right? Do it. Nothing gets past me. Nothing. Nothing. So I can't believe she said it. You don't like me. That's messed up. If this was Cardi from a year ago, she would have been calling him a glitter bottom and cursing him out and saying how she gonna get somebody on them, and she would have deleted this tweet. So let's move on. He said, "Who doesn't like you when you're on the timeline saying that you don't want to be?" Hold on. Who doesn't like you when you're on the timeline saying you didn't want to be here? I sent you something very heartfelt and we had an amazing exchange and I thought we were good. You think I don't like you because I like another woman, and that's not the case at all. This ain't no stand shit. And that's another problem. Cardi, you want to be in the conversations and the talents of the likes of a Nicki. You will never be Nicki. You're not talented. You're not. You're just another female rapper who's trying to trace the Nicki footsteps, and you're trying to be out here trying to spit some weak ass metaphors and punchlines that rhyme with designers and LV loose vagina. You're doing this corny little shit that make it seem like, oh, Cardi got bars. Oh, Cardi be spitting too. That's all you're trying to do is just keep up in the black girl's world. That's all you're trying to do. That's not even really you. I don't know. This is why I'm saying like it infuriates me. Like with, and you talk about the gaslighting, the mental manipulation and gymnastics. Like, yeah, I don't like that shit. Like, why you dwelling around hip hop? You said you into fashion. Go do that fashion shit. You got some looks. You do. Go over there. Go over there. Like, you don't got to be in this world like that. It's so many people who deserve that push that you got. And you know what's so crazy? Well, I think Doja Cat, she did well on Spotify. She got the streams, right? I know Doja Cat can be shady, but she deserved whatever success. And even though no, I can't even really say that because she be doing some crazy stuff too. Because yeah, I don't know. There's another woman who JT, Sexy Red, they deserve that. They deserve that. Cardi B only got awarded that based off of, I believe, colorism had a lot to do with it. So she said, "Are we on the timeline?" She said this to Raymonte after he said the last statement. "Are we on the timeline or on the DMs? We are talking in DMs, and now you're back to the timeline. You can't gaslight me, and I won't let you confuse people by bringing up things that are irrelevant to the initial discussion." I don't even think Cardi is smart like that, to be honest with you. I don't. Um, to the initial discussion, you say people never called me ghetto. I responded showing how I've always been ghetto, and now you're bringing up standish. It's none of that. I'm just sick of people being comfortable with race baiting when it comes to me. And it's plenty of men you could have compared yourself to, but you got it. Hmm. No, I think his point needed to be. He had a very poignant point, and it needed to be expound on. So he said, "You saying I'm using other women when it's me and you." Wait, he said you're saying I'm using other women when me and you had our talks months ago. You said, "Why don't I call Ice Spice a Mexican?" You bring her up. You bring up other people, not me. I'm not bringing in any other women in this. I think y'all are great. It wasn't to offend you or hurt you in any shape or form. Same reason you felt comfortable with calling me a Mexican when I'm Dominican, and I asked you why you felt comfortable calling me Mexican when Ice and Jerome, Zoe, Zaldana are Dominicans, and you don't do that with them. You do it to me because you know that's what people use to hurt me. That shows how much you feel about Mexicans. You must feel like they're at the bottom of the totem pole. You must feel that way. That says a lot. People say a lot without. Let me tell you something. I'm so emotionally intelligent. I wouldn't even have delivered that way because, you're supposed to be Cardi B. You have some sort of attention and reach. Why would you want to me? I would decipher that message like, so what are you saying about Mexican people? You're doing that to hurt me. How could that hurt you? He didn't misgender you. How did that hurt you? You talk too much. Same way as you use my name in that video, knowing exactly what you're doing. He said, all I was trying to say is that being ghetto or getting called ghetto doesn't hinder your career. Essence wrote an article and asked why was my viral birthday trip not sponsored by any brands, and y'all said it was because I'm ghetto, not marketable. So I'm giving an example of another person who is ghetto and that reached a high level of success. It didn't hinder her, so why should it hinder me? Oh, sorry. So why did it hinder me? That's all. I didn't mean to offend you, get dragged. And I'm tired of you saying that. You said it 2 times already. This is a third time you mentioned that in this conversation that you didn't mean to offend. I used her as an example because her ghetto ratchetness is what helped propel her career. It was being called relatable. This is not no stand Twitter ish. This is real life politics within the black community and entertainment industry. I'm confused on why I'm getting so much hate. Here's my advice to you, Raymonte. It takes time. Right now, I get brand deals for over 5 million for a campaign. I got social media famous in 2014. My first brand deal for Fashion Nova 2016 was $200 a post. You could reach any height, no matter how ghetto or where you come from. Just remember, the key is to be patient and humble and blessing. Shut up. Thank you. Wish we could have started off like this. Appreciate. Yeah, she wanted to. Cardi B wanted some sort of moment. That's exactly what she wanted. So then let's check this out real quick.
Language, we have different dialects. We don't eat the same food. We don't eat the same nothing. Call a Nigerian Ghanaian. Call
Ghanaian? Know what you're talking about when you're talking about it. Ghanaian.
a Haitian Jamaican. Call Jamaican a Haitian. Call Guyanese a Trini. And you tell me how they're gonna feel.
You know what? I want to say this too before she says it. I think that no matter what Cardi B says, when Nicki spilled that tea talking about that dirty Mexican, saying that dirty Mexican, I think she planted a seed in Cardi's mind because Raymonte did he call her? Put me on if I'm wrong or not, because I didn't hear that he called her a dirty Mexican or anything like that. He said that he spoke to her before. Nicki planted that seed, and she said that. I'm telling you, she be giving it away. She's giving it away. She was just talking about people ain't say that I had couth. That's what I'm saying. Remember when Cardi was in the club and she made the DJ turn off COTH since you can't spell it either. Bitches ain't got the wait. What? How did that? I'ma explain why these bitches never see me. I push a magic genie like a genie. My body shaped like genie with the teeny booty dreamy, but it tell them to the title so we streamy. When he leave me, I go hard in the booth. COUTH says you can't spell it either. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to make sure that I think like fully. Like I've heard people use that word before, but I didn't hear people start using it more until Nicki came out with that remix. I'm gonna be honest with you. People didn't say you had the cool.
Language, we have different dialects. We don't eat the same food. We don't eat the same nothing. Call a Nigerian Ghanaian. Call a Haitian a Haitian Jamaican. Call a Jamaican a Haitian. Call Guyanese a Trini. And you tell me how they gonna feel. You tell me how they gonna feel. And not only do y'all and stop playing with me because y'all know that I'm not Mexican. And y'all do that shit to irritate me.
Why would that irritate you? I understand what she's saying, where it's like if you call, because listen, because I do know this is real, right? I do know that Trinis and Jamaicans, just based off what I know and being in New York, I know that one, they don't like to be called the other. They don't, right? Yeah, because I had some Trini friends and they had some choice words of how they feel about Jamaica and all of that. I think that a lot of people, but listen, let me just say this too. I think people don't like comparisons at all because even though I live in the South, I don't like to be like, not saying that I don't like to be, I let it be known where I'm from, is what I'm saying, right? And I do believe that there are differences from Northern Negroes and Southern Negroes. It is definitely a difference. People tell me that at work all the time, like, you're so assertive, like you're straight to the point or whatever. Like I feel like that's best for me, my character and my personality and how I choose to get work done. But not saying it's not people down here who like that. But what I'm saying is there are differences and I believe like minor differences in character and the ways that you go about things, like even the way that you cook food. I had some of the best food in my life when I moved down here to Texas. I can't lie to you. They cook different. They season their food different down here. So yeah, there are, so as that relates, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I wouldn't want to be like, oh, are you from the South? Like, no, even though I've been here like 8 years, no, I'm still from New York. Like, I'm not Southern or anything like that. But I understand what she's trying to say, but I feel like she has this nasty tone behind it, like, ill, I'm not want to be Mexican, like, ill. Like, I wouldn't care if somebody thought that I was from the South, but I'm just not, though. Like, I'm just proud. Like, I think people are proud no matter where they're from. It's just like, yo, let me tell you something. I know people, my cousin, who she's from the South. I remember she went to New York. She was like, she went to New York City when we went there. She was like, I did not have a good time in New York. She said, no, I don't see why people love it. It's dirty. It's dirty. Like and she's like a Southern belle. She's like, yeah, I wasn't really impressed with it, like, or whatever, right? So she's a Southern girl. Like a lot of people, and then there's a lot of people who think like, oh, you're gonna come here and you're gonna be so impressed. Like my cousin, she got money. She was not impressed by New York. She's like, no, I'd rather go somewhere else. So she loves her little Atlanta life and stuff like that. She was not impressed by New York at all. So people like and people are proud of where they're from. So yeah, let's continue this.
And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So
who called her a dirty Mexican? Who called her a dirty Mexican? Did somebody call her a dirty Mexican?
But y'all do that shit to irritate me. And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So
and why when you look in the camera, you don't look straight into the camera? Look into the camera.
Of course, I'm gonna defend myself every single do y'all and stop playing with me because y'all know that I'm not Mexican. And y'all do that shit to irritate.
Tu thing. What's tu thing? Tu quiere pantalones?
You tell me how they gonna feel. And not only do y'all and stop playing with me because y'all know that I'm not Mexican. And y'all do that shit.
And I love Mexican food. Shit, I want to go to Papacitos tomorrow. I love Mexican food, Tex-Mex and Mexican food. Like, what's wrong with it? I'm gonna just say this because I think that this is appropriate. I was avoiding saying it. A lot of my Trinidadian friends, they would make comments like, "I'm just gonna be honest with you. The Trinis, they feel like they better than Jamaicans because they feel like my friend used to like one of my friends. She used to always be like, yeah, our country makes more money. Like we make more money, and Trinis is just better. Like and I got that from a lot of Trinis. They feel like they better than Jamaicans. I feel like Cardi B being Dominican, and white, she's a white Dominican. I feel like she thinks she's better than Mexican people because Mexicans, they have a lot of like association with being poor. But so do Dominicans. A lot of people have those type of things attributed to them, like being poor or growing up in poverty, or obviously she grew up in poverty too. A lot of us grew up in poverty. Shit, I know. Shit, my mother was raising three kids and barely getting any support. Like shit, sometimes she would just be working just to put a roof over our head and to make sure that we ate. So I think a lot of us grew up in poverty, but I don't think that I'm better than anybody, but I also don't think that I'm less than them either. I don't care. It was times that we ain't have food. It was times that, listen, you couldn't get no money to go to school with. But listen, I was gonna dig some change up somewhere in the house, go do some drawers, dig in the couch or something. I was gonna find some change somewhere. Nowadays, since that we so into debit cards, you can't find no change in no couches now. Everybody got a debit card. I feel sorry for the kids now, but yeah.
To irritate me. And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So of course I'm.
Let me read the comments in the chat. I want to know who called Cardi B a dirty Mexican. Why does it sound so Nicki related? Like that shit got to her. Are Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion on the outs? Not sure why Trini think they better than us. They do. I spoke to several of them, and they do think that they better than Jamaican. They do. And maybe it's just a little inside conversation, but yeah. And it was like, our country is richer. Trinidad is nice, but Jamaica is more naturally pretty, to be honest. Megan, exactly. Right. Because who said that? That was just weird to me. Like that she said that. I'm like, damn, Nicki really be on her mind, like for real. Like when Nicki planted that seed, that reminded me of one of my friends when she got into it with somebody and she was just like, yep. She was like, yeah, that nigga tried to play me. That's why when I spoke to that bitch, I planted that seed. So even if she don't take it for now, it's gonna be on her mind. That shit is on her mind.
You tell me how they gonna feel. And not only do y'all and stop playing with me because y'all know that I'm not Mexican. And y'all do that shit to things.
Cardi, what's wrong with being Mexican? You could go get some enchiladas, wear it with your Prada, go out to Nevada, go get a little plata. I don't understand what's so. I feel like she's tone deaf by doing this because I would feel like I'm hurting my Mexican fans by saying something like that. She don't really care. The record is flopping with it ain't giving no tusa, so she ain't over in Mexico doing those crazy streams. She don't care. She like shit. Our new Spanish song is a flop anyway, so I don't give a shit.
To irritate me. And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So of course I'm gonna defend myself every single time you guys do it. You're not gonna keep erasing my nationalities. You're not gonna keep erasing how I am. And first of all, I never in my life growing up did I ever heard anybody call me a fucking Mexican. So it's like, well, how the fuck? When I was coming up, y'all wasn't calling me that, but now y'all do call me that. So
that is bothering her. It's bothering her. Listen, I feel bad. Megan is the one who did it. Megan is the one who did it. And I hate that for you. Wait, where's the other post that I wanted to bring up? Damn, it's 3:42. Let me hurry up. So Ice Spice chimed into this whole situation regarding Raymonte when Cardi B brought up her name, right? So I just want to say this. Let me scroll over. So when Cardi said that, same reason you felt comfortable calling me Mexican, when Ice Spice, Jarrell, Jerome, Zoe Zaldana are Dominicans, and you don't do that to them. So Ice Spice said, "No offense, Barty, it's because I have a Dominican parent and a black one." And she made sure she put the heart emoji. She's so. Let me wait to get my commentary so I'll get to this picture. So she said, I think there might be some sort of confusion on what I said. I asked why he's so comfortable calling me a Mexican. I had no Mexican parent. Mama is Timmy, and she came out a whole black woman. My father Dominicano, and I'm Dominican, just like you. I also use other Dominicans as an example because you should know a lot of times we get clustered into one big because of language. Also, can you send me that pic you took with a camera, Vanity Fair? And then Ice Spice posted it. And so this is where, for me, the conversation begins. So Ice Spice, why didn't you post this photo before? Now, I want to say this because I did a video earlier, but I didn't feel like I delivered it in the right way. So I privated the video because I wanted to come and do this commentary. I don't trust Ice. I don't trust Ice Spice, but I have a reason why I'm going to say what I'm going to say, right? I remember I was having these conversations with a certain person on the phone, and this is how I know, like, I do respect people and I do give them grace because I noticed this from when this situation started to happen with Princess Diana, even before Barbie World, right? I'm one of those people, like, I do sit back and it's like I'm not comment on things, but I'm not just going through life and just like I pay attention to everything that's going on around me, right? I just do. And I noticed that Ice Spice, when she first was like getting on Twitter and like with the whole merge with Nicki, she followed a lot of the only big bar pages. Now, me as a creator, like I'm on Twitter, but I follow a person who got a few followers. I don't care how many tweets you how many retweets you get or anything like that. I don't even follow a lot of big bar pages that they would say, right? I follow smaller people because I feel like, especially on my other page, that I had, I would retweet people who I felt like they wasn't being seen because I know how that feels, like, you know. But with Ice Spice, I noticed that she followed a lot of the key barbs that Nicki would associate with, like a lot of the pages that get a lot of reaction. She followed all of those pages, and to me, I think that that's fake because why are you following all big pages? Because it benefits you. Because when you like their comments and then they in turn retweet anything that you post, it opens them up, it opens you up to the network of the fans. Like it's very slick to me. um yeah, and I noticed that when she follows so many big bar pages. My whole thing is that if you had love for Cardi and you took this pic with her, now I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, right? I don't care for Cardi on an artist level, but she has some sort of pull, right? When was the Vanity Fair? When was the Vanity Fair party? That was like 2 3 weeks ago. Was it like 2 3 weeks ago? And Cardi B made that statement saying that she had got into it with somebody, and I personally felt like it was Ice Spice from the jump. I said it in my commentary because when she announced Enough, she went online and posted Nicki "Fuck the Club Up" link from Spotify, and she said she had to check something. I did think it could have been Sweetie too, but I mentioned Ice Spice. I said that I felt like it was her because it was like number one, I feel like Cardi feels as though that she could check her because she's younger than her. She probably feel like she has some sort of like connection with her because they from the Bronx and that Ice Spice kind of owes her something. Let me tell you something. Actions speak louder than words. You can tell when a person is being phony. You know who you follow. You know who the base is, who you have on Twitter. You follow a lot of barbs. You follow a lot of big barbs, right? You didn't post this because you knew how it would come off. You only posted this because she asked for it. And that's wrong to me because you want to know what? If I was Cardi B, I would feel like the ugly duckling. Why you had to ask her to post a picture of you? Why didn't she just post it on herself? Not saying that she looked ugly there, but what I'm saying is, why are you hiding me? Why are you hiding your if you have a connection with me? You see Ice Spice in this picture, what I was trying to tell you earlier, she made two different faces and Cardi kept the same pose up. It's like she was scared to change her face. Like, no, I know I look cute like this. Let me keep it the same because if I look this way, I might look another way. Like, she kept that shit literally the same. Ice Spice put her tongue out. She did a regular one too. Um, so yeah, I don't and listen, I've been noticed that. And the person who I spoke to about that, they was like, yeah, they peeped that too. I said, why is she following all big bar pages? Like, that's weird to me. You know, a lot of Ice Spice fans are barbs, like, you know, are Nicki fans. A lot of them are. Um, what I will tell you is why I think that she hit it was number one for that reason is because the pandering, that's pandering. That's pandering. Ice Spice does pander to Nicki fans. She does. And then today she just posted something after that just to try to wave the flag and show that she's still this or whatever, right? You want me to tell you what I believe happened? So remember I did that video a while ago. It's like the same day I did this video was like maybe an hour or so later, Armand did his video. And he has a bigger platform than me. I respect him as a creator. He's invested in his platform or whatever. But I did the video first and I said that there was an issue between Nicki and Ice Spice, and people came at me. They said I was starting trouble, whatever the case may be. And the reason why I felt that way is because I just felt the energy switch after Barbie, Barbie World or whatever. Yeah, Barbie World. I think that's the name of the song, right? So I just felt the energy shift because certain things I was just paying attention to, like it would be stats of the song, like the song would be #1 on pop radio or #1 on radio, and I would notice that Nicki would post the stats that she wouldn't tag Ice Spice. It was just like certain energy I was just picking up on. Then when I noticed that Ice Spice was going on tour with Doja Cat, I spoke on that again. I spoke on that as well. And I was saying, like, how did Nicki invest in you so much and you're going on tour with Doja Cat? Doja Cat didn't do anything to support you. Now she might be on this album. She might be on Ice Spice album in a way to like help her or whatever the case may be, right? But she didn't jump on any of your songs and push you up. Nicki gave you your highest charting songs, right? So in my opinion, I don't know. Sometimes I be feeling like I'm more of a realist. Like I try to like, and this is how I work in my friendships too. But I feel like if you looked out for me and you pulled me up, what is so wrong with saying? And I know that Ice Spice, she possibly cannot have the control over this. But I would at least, so that Nicki don't feel no type of way, I would have ran it past her like, hey, like I know that you might be going on tour. Doja asked me to go on tour. I would really love to go on tour with you because we work together or whatever. I think that would have been more understandable and it would have been more loyal. But the thing is, these people have no loyalty. They don't have no loyalty. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but you'll understand as I continue. So she went on tour with Doja. And I was saying this the whole time, even before the VMAs. I said, fuck that. I want Nicki to be selfish. I don't want her to perform with nobody. Nicki did the VMAs. She made it all about herself. She performed, her songs. She did the big difference. She performed like the melody of songs too on the hip hop set. She did Last Time I Saw You. She didn't bring Ice Spice up. Barbie World was still at the top at that point. No, not at all. Not at all. So that was that. Nicki, where else did Nicki perform at? I felt like she performed after that too. Well, I know that she did the VMAs. And then this tour stop. She just did New Jersey. She did Madison Square Garden, brung 50 Cent out, brung Bobby Shmurda came out or whatever. She did Brooklyn tonight. She ain't bring her out. She not fucking with her. No, you're not going to use me and benefit off of me and get boosted and all of that. And then you're not going to turn around and do the work. Like, nah, to me, that's a leech. You should have, like, I believe that, Ice Spice, yes, she is a new artist, so she might not have that leverage, but in a way, and then this looks phony. It just looks phony. Why didn't you post that picture of her? If I was Cardi, I wouldn't even have asked her. I would have pressed her in the inbox like, yo, why you ain't post that picture? And she would have just posted it like this. You shouldn't have to ask a person to post a picture of you. That means that they're hiding you. They hiding you. And she know why she hiding you. So I think the reason why this came together, and I think that they had some sort of situation at that event. Maybe she said something to Sweetie too. I don't know. I told y'all initially, see, when I did my video about this, I said, I don't think she said nothing to Sweetie because that would make you look pressed as a wife. I think I did my video. I don't even think I put Sweetie in the title. I think I said that Ice Spice was pressed. Don't hold me to it though. I could have put Sweetie's name in the title. But I believe, because I said, I don't think that she would press Sweetie because that would make you look pressed as a wife. You were still with Offset. So why would you even address her, right? So yeah, in my personal opinion, like I said before, Ice Spice got addressed because she was moving Oppie. It's like, and why did you have that energy towards Cardi? Like you felt like you had to go. See, this is some Megan Thee Stallion energy, almost like when she got on live with Nicki and talking about, I'll go write some shit, like whatever. Why did you feel like you had to overdo that? I never feel like I have to overperform with a person to show them how loyal I am. Either you're going to accept it or you're not. But I don't know. I'm kind of looking at her sideways. I didn't delete her music off my phone or unfollow her or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. Something is up with that though. But yeah, I love the fact that Nicki did that. Yo, I know that people, and I even heard her fans saying that they was trying to like corner her when she was in the spaces. They was like, why you ain't perform with Nicki? Because you fake. That's why. Nicki ain't pulling none of y'all up no more. And that's why I feel like she's doing that with Sexy Red, because Sexy Red deserve it. She's not going to get certain looks like certain people get. That's why Drake is supporting her too. And listen, I don't even know if maybe who knows if Sexy Red label or her people could be throwing him money to support and give her visibility. But I'm happy that he's doing it. She deserves it. You know, these other girls, they get looks and stuff like that just based off of their color, and they get pushed and pushed through. So yeah, that's my feelings on this though. I felt like Cardi forced you out there, and then why didn't you post this photo before? You know, I said this when the Vanity Fair came. I said, why don't they have a photo together? All along, you do have a photo, and you didn't post it because you didn't want to be judged by Nicki fans, and in my opinion. And then you posted a photo today talking about you get under you get under bitches' skin like poison ivy. I don't know. It looks opportunistic. It looks like you got what you wanted out of Nicki. I think that Ice Spice does love Nicki, but to me, it just looks really messy. And it looks like to me, I wouldn't even want to be Cardi in that situation. I would have never asked a person to post a picture of me that they took weeks ago. I would just wonder why you never posted it. So yeah, Cardi played you. She played you. She played you. And you fell right into the trap. I would have just, man, listen, I wouldn't have posted that shit. Let me read some of y'all comments before I move on. Let's see. Side chick of rap, but why Cardi taking pics with Spice to begin with? It's always calculated and cunning. But I think that she did it. I feel like Cardi B did that shit because she probably pressed her around that time. They probably had a conversation. She's like, yo, why you doing XYZ? Because then Cardi even said something. Remember, I don't know if y'all remember, but in another interview, she was talking about that. She was like, I don't like when people start acting funny with me or whatever the case may be, because then when I see you, I'm going to address you or whatever. Like, I think she was talking to Ice Spice. Yo, let me tell y'all this. I said that when Ice Spice posted the F the Club Up, when she posted the F the Club Up right after Enough, Cardi B made her announcement and she went right on Twitter and posted Nicki's link. That's pandering. I don't care what you say. That is pandering. Now, when you put it all into perspective, you're trying to make Cardi mad. Why are you trying to make her mad for? So now I think things have reached a breaking point. Now she realized Nicki's not messing with her no more. She reposted something that Ice Spice posted, like supporting the album or something before. But she's not rocking with her no more. And I think now she's like, it's time to move on to Cardi. Maybe they can get a collaboration or something for, business wise. Maybe it'll work out for them, but I don't know. Anyway,